Hey guys, it's Steven with the Jones Group here in Jacksonville, and everybody's been asking for it, so I wanted to give you another market update of what's happening here in North Florida. And there have been a lot of interesting things that have been going on, not only through the numbers, but through my one-on-one experience with other agents and buyers and sellers here in the area, and what we're going to start seeing coming up in the months ahead. So let's get into it. So starting out as we go through and just going through the numbers, I'm going to go through the numbers. I like the details because this really gets into it other than just what everybody else is saying. So when we get into the numbers, the number of listings that we have has kind of stayed a little bit similar between December and January. This is standard. Every year this happens because not a lot of people are going to list kind of a week right after Christmas or 2 weeks. I have multiple customers right now who have been wanting to list, and we're starting to get into the spring. Now, I know in some parts of the country, it's nowhere close to spring, but here in Florida, as you can tell, I'm in a short sleeve shirt. It's going to be 80 degrees today. We're going to start getting more and more into the spring season, and that's when we see the biggest movement for people buying and selling property here in Northeast Florida. So through January, that's kind of normal of what we're going to see. Now, once we get into February and March, you're going to see that curve starting to go up for new houses coming on the market. Down here, you're going to see if we've got our sold listings, there's going to be a decrease. Don't freak out about it. The national news is, sales have gone down. People aren't buying houses anymore. Of course they're not buying houses anymore. Let's use our brains here for a second, folks, is that we're going to go, these contracts take 30 days. If you're buying with a loan, it's a 30-day contract. So people who would close in January, they were going under contract in December, and not a lot of people are going under contract in December. That's pretty standard. A lot of people, as we've talked about in previous videos, they're worried about Christmas. They've just gotten over Thanksgiving. All those, they're not looking at houses. So this is a pretty standard number. Don't believe the mainstream media of, the housing market is crashing and all. It's not happening. This happens every single year. You're going to see this number go right back up once we get into February, March, and April. Happens every year and everybody forgets about it, but that's why I'm here. Just to remind you, these things are cyclical. It happens all the time. Now, once we get over here, let's kind of look at some of our list prices and where they're at. We've seen list prices go up. The active median list price has gone up a little bit. And then when we get into, we're going to pull out sold here, sold median sale price. That's kind of gone down. The reason that goes down is because there are some sellers, I've had it personally happen to me, sellers want to get out of their house by the end of the year, or somebody wants to buy a house right before the year ends. There's tax implications when you sell your house, and some people say, hey, the benefit of selling right before the end of the year, even if it's at a discount, is good for me in tax situations. So just keep that in mind. We see this every single year. Now, absorption rate. So how many months? Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? What does that look like? We saw this kind of spike through the year, then it's come back down. So it's about 4.6. So technically, this is still a seller's market. Keep that in mind. We'll talk about that more in a second. Technically, it's still a seller's market. Now, you guys know I love this statistic of sold to list ratio. What does that look like? We're going to look at the top one. So we're going to look at sale, the price that it was at when it went under contract to what it actually closed at. You're looking at 96.3%. Now let's go down here to this one, which is sale to original list price. Look at that. That is 92.8%. There's a big variance there. So What does that data tell us? That data tells us that people are overpricing their houses. They're overpricing their houses when they come onto the market, and they're doing price reductions over and over and over to get down to a point. So we just went under contract with a wonderful couple who the home was on the market for 2 days. It had been updated. It was priced according for what it was in the market. It was priced according for the neighborhood that it was at. They weren't going out trying to get 40, 50 grand more. They priced it right where it needed to be, and we had to fight a multiple offer situation. Those are out there. They are happening. I'm talking to other agents in the brokerage. They're seeing the same things. It's happening all the time when a house is priced accordingly. And also at the same time, these buyers that we went under contract with, they've been looking for a while. They have another 6 months until their lease is up on their rental. So for all of you sellers out there, hear me when I say this. There are people who are looking. They might not be actively looking, but they're passively looking for when a house comes on the market that fits what they want and it's a value for them. Because once again, a house is a commodity. It is only worth what somebody is willing to pay for it. That's the biggest thing that I get into with my sellers, is it's not what I think it's worth. I think it's worth $10 million. It's not what you think it's worth. What is somebody willing to pay for it? That's why we get into this data. That's why we start looking at things to help you price your home accordingly so that you can sell it. Now, coming down here, we're seeing days on market have gone up. Once again, you're going to see all the news. Oh, this has gone up. Days on market are ballooning. The housing market's going. This happens every year. Literally happens every year. When you're going between December and January, days on market are going to go up. Hey, look, they went up from October, November, went down a little bit, and then went back. Happens all the time. Happens every single year. Of course, the days on market are going to go up. People are going after Christmas. They're getting back into work. They're doing all those things. It happens. Coming down here to our summary. Yes, we've seen the absorption rate go up year over year. That's been a trend. We've seen that. So we've seen that go up. Once again, we're still in a seller's market. Remember, a seller's market for absorption rate is between 0 and 5 months. 5 to 6 is a neutral, 6+ is a buyer's market, meaning there are more homes on the market than people are buying homes. There we go. A little tidbit of education for you today. Now, let's get into some of these other things. We are seeing just in January, let's look at these here. This is what we're looking at. In January, you've seen a little bit of drop in your average. You've seen a little bit of drop in your median, your average sale price. So once again, list prices are coming down a little bit. For you buyers out there, you're seeing that. So they're coming down a little bit because sellers and listing agents are starting to see, hey, if we price this right, boom, it's going to sell. Now, at the other side of this, so once again, sale price, the list price is coming down a little bit. But if you look at our sale price, our average sale price and our median sale price, they're just going up just a tad. So they're increasing just a little bit year over year. So we're still seeing some growth. We're not seeing, 15, 20% growth, but on average here in Northeast Florida, we look at about a 3 to 5% growth year over year in sale prices. So that might be a little bit low. Maybe it's part of the time of year, but we're still seeing this. So list prices are coming down, but the sale prices are still creeping up a little bit. So when you hear that, hey, the market's crashing because sale prices are down, look at the data. You decide for yourself. Once again, a little bit more days on market. Median days on market is about the same. So coming in here, one thing I really want to look at is our pending sales. What do our pending sales look like year over year? So pending sales, pending means it's under contract. What does that number look like for January? So for January 25 on the left to January 24, so you've got pending sales going down a little bit. And not even just a little bit, down by 41%. So pending sales are shrinking. I think this number is going to come back. I think when we do this in a month, you're going to see a different number where that gets smaller and smaller. We're going to start seeing more and more pendings coming through, getting onto the market. I just see it from talking with my own customers, talking with other agents. We're seeing that happen more and more. The data, I think, will go and show that. Now, when we're looking at sold listings, let's go year to date on sold listings. So down about 9%. I still think that's because of what we're seeing overall in the economy. People are going to start moving things through. I think that's going to pick up a little bit, but only time will tell. Now, our active listings, let's go on the amount of active listings. So this is one thing that you guys should really look at. So more homes are coming on the market. More homes are coming. You can see that in almost every single price point, except for some of the really low ones. But all our major price points above 100,000, look at all these. And you guys know I love to talk about this section is the 3 to 500 range, which is the bulk of the Jacksonville housing market. Is with that, you're up 6% on new listings year over year, and on 4 to 500, you're up 12%. Overall, the number of new listings that we're seeing active listings up about 16% year over year. So for you buyers out there, make sure that you see everything that's out there. There are always homes that are coming on the market. And for you sellers, this is very competitive right now. You have to have something